cliches are boring. Cliches are trite. They're tired. But you know what? A lot of times there's truth in it. And what do they always say about football? It's a game of inches. I mean, does anything embody that more than 3 seconds on the clock, game on the line, one play to win it all, the goal line, who can get the push, who can find a way? DeMonte Traynham, years of work hanging in the balance for both schools, legacy, a playoff. It was like everything hanging in the balance, and he somehow finds a way to keep his knee off the ground, barely get that ball to break the plane, and the Ohio State Buckeyes have a walk-off win in South Bend.
And don't forget the more dramatics of the entire thing, the fact that Notre Dame only had 10 players on the field for the last 2 plays of the game. That was added another little wrinkle to the entire thing of, do you jump off sides? Do you send someone out there real quick to get 11? Because moving the ball half a ball's length wasn't really going to do much.
So, let's just dive in. So for those that don't know, yes, somehow Notre Dame, which had played so well all night defensively, had 10. It's inexplicable. Had 10 players on the field the final 2 plays of the game, and they still almost stopped him. And where did they run it to? They ran it to right where the defensive tackle was supposed to be that wasn't on the field. The worst part is, Aaron, a couple of things. First off, after the first play, Ohio State substituted, meaning it would not have been a penalty. You could have substituted when the offense substitutes, the defense gets to, right? The other worst part to me is Marcus Freeman's explanations after the game kind of sounded like shit. It was like, it sounded like, to me, he probably was not aware, but then when he was made aware after the fact, it sounds like they tried to logic some things up, right? Like, okay, here's a direct quote from Marcus Freeman, quote, but to me, it was like, hey, don't give them another opportunity, get settled, and try to make a different call. Hey, guys, stay off the field. Let's not give them a freebie from the half-yard line, and let's try to stop them. First off, that's a bit of a word salad, but a freebie, bro, let's have a defensive tackle in when it's a fucking goal line and you got to win the game. I'm with you. I don't understand it. Even if, let's say even the penalty excuse holds no merit, because first off, it wouldn't have been a penalty, but even if it would have been, I don't give a fuck. A half a yard, a man having a man on the field is worth half a yard. And secondly, this idea of letting them settle again is massively outweighed by not having a D tackle in on the goal line. So it sucks because not only does Freeman barely miss out on that massive signature win that every coach is always hoping for, but he comes away actually looking like so much good erased by a small moment of inexplicable bad.
I don't think it's all erased. I think Marcus Freeman's a hell of a coach. I think that it was.
No one's saying that, but this game is defined by him. What's the first thing you brought up?
The game is not being defined by them putting 10 players on the field.
Okay, then what's the first thing you brought up? We started talking about this game then. So I wasn't even go there. I was trying to make inches and all this.
Because of course, when we're going to talk about the game-winning drive and the putting it in there at the end of the game with no time remaining, then you're going to have to bring up, well, what was part of the reason why? It was because they had 10 players on the field. That is a part of it. But when it comes to the 60 minutes of football that was played, I thought both coaches called it an awesome game. I thought both teams played extremely well on both sides of football. It was a great football game. It was awesome. Just a really good quality football game against 2 of the best teams in the country. And a misjudgment of putting an extra player on the field or not putting an extra player on the field is not going to take away from either side, in my opinion.
Well, that's an insanely gracious take by you, because I would think that if Ohio State scores a walk-off game-winning touchdown by running the ball to the very area in which you didn't have a defensive tackle, and they get it by 3 fucking inches, I
need to watch the film. I still don't know if it was where there wasn't this massive gap on the defense.
Yes,
oh my God, no!
Look at the fucking play.
I'll go watch.
Look at where they run the ball. Look at where they run the ball. It is exactly where the defensive end is supposed to be. Go watch the play right now. I see you look it up. Look at it right now, and you tell me.
I will watch it again.
Man.
I will pull up the coach's
saying it doesn't take away from what other coach does. It absolutely takes away, and I feel bad because I feel.
So then, what's your opinion of Marcus Freeman right now? So I just, to me, it feels like you're just trying to.
No, I think he's a damn good coach, obviously. Okay. But in that moment, he was awful, and that moment defined the game. Like that's what that is what it is. I'm not being harsh. I'm being objective. I'm not.
I don't think Notre Dame should have been in that. I think bigger issues with Notre Dame should never have been in that spot in the first place.
No doubt,
100%.
No doubt. But they
should not have been in that spot in the first spot. I know they were. I know they were. I know they were. But you can't tell me a defense that had dominated the entire football game was giving up big chunk plays on the final drive, like 3rd and 19, and you give up a 21-yard pass.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, bro, I'm not saying that other mistakes weren't made, but ultimately football comes down to what do you do at the most important times of the game. Yeah. And it was the moment.
Do you think they knew? Do you think they truly knew that there was 10 guys on the field?
No, I don't.
See, that's what I'm saying right now too. Like, I think he's giving the excuse after the game, but I think in the heat of the moment, I don't think they truly knew that there was only 10 guys on the field.
No, I agree. That's why his excuse sounds like a word salad. That doesn't make any sense. And for Notre Dame fans, that's going to be frustrating. Like if you lose this game and there's 11 on the field, Aaron, then it's all like whatever. We're just talking about the game now. We're talking about how. I mean, when have you ever seen anything like that in your life?
No,
neither have I. It's legitimately shocking, especially to your point, especially because it comes at the end of a near perfect performance where you had shut down these elite Ohio State weapons all night long. Hartman had found a way to get you a lead. When you got, and for Notre Dame fans, it just all feels so close. When you got the stop, 4th and 1 in the red zone, they don't even feel comfortable trying to run the ball up the middle. They're running jet sweeps and trying to throw it like that. You were dictating. You stop with about 4.5 minutes left. You feel like you have that game won. And credit to Kyle McCord staring down the gaping maw of an Irish dragon. He finds a way to go down the field. We talked about Shooter Sanders' mythological drive. Kyle McCord, who still may not be, the Ohio State caliber quarterback that we are used to. When it mattered most, Kyle McCord finds a way to get his team into the end zone.
I said before the game last week that Ohio State was a quarterback away from being possibly the best team in the country. Him doing that, does that give you more confidence that is a truer statement, especially the way the defense played? Like, how do you view Ohio State right now? Because the two big boys in the country, 1 and 2, haven't played anyone, Georgia and Michigan, so we really don't know those two teams fully just yet. But now we've seen Ohio State go on the road and win a game, and we saw their young quarterback, young in the terms of playing experience, win them a game in heroic fashion. The defense looks much improved. Yeah. They got the playmakers on the outside. Henderson looks healthy at the running back position. How do you view Ohio State as a true contender now? Was that enough?
No.
Should Ohio State fans walk away from this saying, holy shit, we actually may have a chance versus Michigan? Because I'm not sold on Penn State. I'll be honest with you right now. Like, yeah, they had a great game versus Iowa. Iowa's awful. And Iowa didn't have any of their skill. Like, the very few position guys on offense that Iowa had didn't play in the game, which is why I kind of made the bet of, like, does Iowa even cross the 50-yard line more than 3 times in the game? I don't think they did. But I don't believe in Penn State. I think it's still Ohio State, Michigan will determine who's going to go on and be in the Big Ten championship game. Are you more excited, or should Ohio State fans be more excited based off the way they won that game yesterday? Because it's still different. It's still a very different brand of football.
Yeah, I would say this. I don't, to me, it's not moving the needle a ton. Now, that said, it's impossible to have a massive win like this and not come away and be like, okay, I'm more impressed than I was previously. So yes, I'm more impressed with Ohio State than I was previously, but also, like, I still thought they were very good, right? Like,
yeah,
I didn't think Ohio State was bad. So no, they're as relevant of a contender as they were entering this game, and maybe a little more so, to your point. But like, I think now they have, let's see, FSU probably has the best pair of wins thus far on the season. and then a few other teams have one big win, and Ohio State has now entered that club as well.
I think Texas going into Tuscaloosa is a bigger win than Ohio State going on the road to Notre Dame. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, there's Ohio State is the more talented team than Notre Dame. If you want to just do the whole blue chip ratio bullshit that we always talk about, Ohio State has far superior athletes than Notre Dame. Yeah. Alabama has better athletes than Texas. It may be a little bit of a closer gap.
Hold up, no, shut the fuck up, stop.
But when it comes to blue chip ratio, when it comes to the whole blue chip ratio, T-Bob, they have
five,
but still better in Alabama.
It's not as big of a gap as actually no.
Exactly, which goes to my argument. Like Ohio State, Notre Dame's a bigger gap than Texas, Alabama. So it's more impressive that you're able to go in there and win that football game.